Quarantine Cooking with Erica Marie. That's me. Hi, everybody. Let me get all situated here. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Quarantine Cooking with Erica Marie. Today, we are going to be making some cauliflower fried rice, a la your favorite Chinese takeout. And we're also going to be making it with some spicy sweet shrimp. Now, if you don't like shrimp or you don't have any on hand, you can always, let's get a little bright, aren't I? Ah! There we go. I usually check my lighting before, but I didn't this time. If you don't like shrimp, you could do this with chicken, you could do this with pork, you could do this with beef, or if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you could also get some firm tofu and season it the same way. So thank you so much for joining me. I see people are still popping on, so I'll wait a couple minutes. I started doing this little cooking adventure because I know a lot of my friends wanted to get into cooking, and I would always post pictures of my food, and they're like, how do you do that? You're such a good cook. So I just wanted to, while we're all cooped up, make some videos and just show you how easy it is to do, and also just make it a lot more accessible by trying to keep the ingredients low, because I know we don't have a lot of stuff on hand, and also trying to give you a lot of different options for substitutions if you have different likes or dietary needs. So as we go on, if there's anything you don't like or you can't have, message me and I can always give you some good substitutions or some swap outs. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. First thing I'm gonna do before I do the cauli rice is just do a quick marinade on my shrimp. These are raw, they are deveined. I had to peel them. So I did that before for the magic of television, so you wouldn't have to sit and watch me peel a pound of shrimp. So the shrimp is done. Let me move this stuff off of my board that I had for my little setup. Hope everybody's doing well. And thank you so much for everyone that has been making my recipes and sending me pictures. It is just warms my heart that, you know, I'm doing something that people are able to gain something from. So that's like my goal. So I'm happy that so many people are doing these recipes and sending me pictures, and even better, they're doing their own little spin on it, which is super fun. All right, so I just made up this marinade with stuff I had in my fridge. This is one of my favorite things that I discovered when I discovered pho. It's Hoisin Sauce. This is almost like a little bit more of a savory teriyaki, I would say. And I found this garlic one too. This brand is really yummy. It's soy vey. I find it in the, sauces with like the barbecue sauce. Hoisin sauce, garlic hoisin sauce. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that in with my little shrimp. Hope you can see. And I'm not doing anything exact because you may like it a little less sweet or a little more garlic. So I just put that in there, and I'm gonna toss these around, so you really don't need a ton of stuff. They don't need to be swimming in it, just enough to coat them. Next thing I'm gonna do is show you another one of my favorite easy peasy things. I get this chunky garlic in the produce section. It comes in a tube. It's just garlic. They've just processed it for me already and put it in the tube. I like the chunky kind. Who you calling chunky? It's really good. I don't know why I said that. And it's great because you don't have to chop up garlic. If you have just garlic cloves, you mash them, chop them up fine, and put them on your shrimps. On your scrimps. Next thing I'm gonna use is this chili garlic sauce. I love this stuff. A little goes a long way. And also, just warning, I like really spicy food, so you might want to put less on this than what I'm doing. You could always add spicier later if you want. So I probably did like a teaspoon of that, maybe a tablespoon of the hoisin, and I'm gonna put a little bit of soy sauce. So if you noticed, I didn't put any salt on these shrimp, and that's because the soy sauce has a ton of salt in it. So after these have marinated, had their little marinade bath, if you will, they're gonna be nice and salty, so I won't need any more. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper for more spice. And now I'm just gonna toss these up and put them to the side, and then we're gonna start on our cauli-fried rice. So this is a really great option, a great substitute for your favorite Chinese takeout if you wanna skip on the carbs. This is low carb. If you wanna make it gluten-free, just switch out your soy sauce there's a product called tamari, which is like a soy sauce without the gluten. And also Kikkoman, our favorite soy sauce brand, or mine, if you will, does make a gluten-free option. So you could do that. Yay. We're gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna wash my hands. Oh, this is what they look like, by the way. So, not too cute yet. I love cooking shrimp, especially with like Chinese food, because it's really quick. It always is just, I feel like so fancy when I make shrimp. I don't know why. And they're so quick. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. They're really quick to cook too. So we'll do those at the very end. And really it's like a minute per side and they're done. But if you want to do like chunks of chicken, you could do that. That's totally cool too. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we're gonna do an onion for our base for our cauli-fried rice. And this dish is super cool because the only thing you're really cooking is the onion and your eggs. Everything else is just kind of getting warmed and tender in the pan. We're gonna use a half of an onion for this. I'm gonna show you how I cut my onion in case you want a little, now let me put you lower here. There we go. Can you see my board? Why does my camera look all like funky? All right, somebody give me, I can see your board. Let's see. Let's see. Can you see my board? I hope so. I just cut my onion in half so that the fuzzy end and the pointy end are still intact. So we're not cutting it down the center, we're cutting it this way. And I'm gonna cut off the front of it because we don't need this guy. Boop. So the next thing I'm gonna do, hi everybody. Great, I'm glad. My mom says you can see me perfectly, which is awesome. So this is how I cut my onions, dice them. You could also, I didn't buy them this time, but you can get them pre-diced in the produce section in like where the, let's see, what's over there? Like peppers and some like your fresh dressings over in that section. You can get pre-chopped onions, which are a godsend. I just had these guys, so I'm gonna use them. So you want to cut them this way, but not all the way to the fuzzy end. So I'm gonna make a bunch of slices this way. We're gonna watch our fingers. And the closer together you make these initial cuts, the smaller your pieces are going to be. And if you don't like onion, don't use this much, but I love it, especially with the cauliflower, because cauliflower, I love cauliflower, but it kind of tastes like nothing. So I feel like if you add more of the aromatics, it just kind of makes it taste more savory and kind of like your actual fried rice as opposed to how I'm eating healthy cauliflower. All right, so I've sliced it all the way down this way without touching the fuzzy butt. And now we're gonna cut it this way to make our dices. And I'm using a half an onion. And also I'm using 2 bags of the cauliflower crumbles, AKA riced cauliflower, which you can buy pretty much in every store now because it got really popular. All right, so my diced onion is finished. So we are going to use, as our fat, we're going to use some butter because it makes the cauliflower taste better. If you don't have butter, you can use olive oil, but I like butter because it's butter and it tastes good. If you are vegan, there is vegan, my friend Michaela, who does live a vegan lifestyle, told me that they're really good, like European style vegan options for your butter. So you could use that instead. I'm using 2 of these small bags of cauliflower crumbs, and I just figured that if you're gonna use 2 bags, a half a stick of butter is perfect. It's the right amount to just get it all soaked in without making it really soupy. But if you're only using 1 bag, just use a 1/4 of this stick instead of a half. Hi, everyone. I see so many friends. I'm excited too, Kaylin. Okay, so I'm gonna put my pan on. I'm gonna turn you this way just a little bit so you can see my pan. And I'm gonna put a half a stick of butter. And I've told you this trick before, but I'm just gonna tell you again. When you're melting your butter in your pan, if you're using like a full stick or half a stick, it's always good to start off if you cut it in a few different pieces so it doesn't take forever to melt. Come on. It's stuck. it stuck. So I'm cutting it into like fourths. Bam, bam. Listen to me, butter. Okay. Also a good way to take out your aggression. Okay, we're gonna put our onions inside. And we're also gonna put some of my garlic paste or tube that I showed you earlier. And if you just have regular garlic cloves, this would be the time that you put them in. This is about a medium heat. I want this to just get translucent because we're also going to be cooking our egg in the same pan. Another thing that you probably, if you've seen any of my episodes, I love not having to clean a lot of pans. So you'll notice that I like to either rinse my pan out and then do the next thing. Today I'm actually going to use a separate pan just for time's sake. Because I promised this was going to be a short one. But you could use, this is a one pan meal, it can be easily. We're going to put a little bit of salt on our onions so they get all soaked up while they're cooking. Hi everybody! This is such a good recipe and it's really quick, you'll see. These onions are like already really taking on this lovely color. So we don't want them browned, we just want them to get translucent. Next thing we're going to be doing is putting our eggs in. Eggs. And for every one of these, I think it's good to have one egg. If you don't want eggs or you're vegetarian, vegan, can vegetarians eat eggs? I think so. Yes. Okay. If you're a vegan, don't put the egg in. Oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. Okay, so our onions getting nice and tender and translucent. I'm going to be making shrimp with this who are already still getting nice and marinated. I did that in the beginning if you missed it. And you could also make tofu or chicken or pork or beef, or you could just have this by itself. Yeah, that would actually be really good too. You could even like chop up some like, I don't know, what would go inside of the rice? Some meat, some kind of meat product inside of the rice. You know they have like chicken fried rice or pork fried rice. You could do that too. That would actually be really, really good now that I think about it. All right, our onions are getting really fragrant. They have that like, kind of like a sweetness to them as opposed to the more acidic smell that they start off with. We're gonna put our eggs in. And what I'm going to do is move my onions to their side of the pool. And I'm gonna put my egg on the other side. So we're putting 2 eggs because I'm doing 2 bags of the cauliflower crumbles. Okay, and the egg is in. I'm gonna put a little salt on him. We're not over salting because we're going to be putting soy sauce into our cauli rice at the end, so it's gonna add a lot of sodium. We don't wanna put too much. You could always add more later on. So my eggs are getting cooked and my onions are scooted to their side of the pool. We don't wanna mix them just yet. We just want them to kind of look at each other, but not make friends yet. So I'm just busting the yolk. I'm gonna do kind of like a quick version of like a scramble over here. I guess if you want to be fancy, you can crack the eggs separately in a bowl, whip them up, and then throw them in. But I just mush them in the pan and they work out nicely. It's gonna be all mashed up anyway inside of the, Okay, I'm back. I just turned the phone off and then it went to Amazon. Oops, now you all know what I've been doing, ordering things on Amazon. So this is what it looks like. The eggs are getting cooked. The onions are nice and cooked. It smells delicious. And we are just about ready to add our cauliflower crumbles. These are heaven sent. I love these so much. If you look on my YouTube channel, I use them so much. I'm turning my heat off. That's a bad angle. You don't want my arm. Let's see. All right, so I am now kind of chopping up my egg because that's what we want it. We kind of want it interspersed inside of the cauliflower, which is next. All right, are you ready? I'm not gonna put the cauliflower in just yet because I think, okay, so Next thing we're doing, actually, I lied to you, sorry. Our peas and carrots, frozen peas and carrots from your grocery store. Super easy. There's a mix that comes with both of them. And I also added edamame, which came separate, but it looks really nice. And it also gives a different texture. They're a lot meatier. And I'm pretty sure they have a lot of protein in them. So yay for healthy options. So I just put in those. And they were still a little frozen, and that's why I put them in before the cauliflower, because I want them to get a little heated up. And everything is nice and mixed. Yum, it smells so good. I turned my heat down to low, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be awful if I put the gas on and no flame and then I just like passed out on Facebook Live? Ah! That would be awful. Why am I even laughing about that? Green onions, little hairdos. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these on a bias. I'm gonna disregard the tops. I'm gonna save a couple little pieces for my garnish, which you all know I love my garnish. We're gonna chop this up at a bias just because it looks prettier, I think. And we're gonna use the greens and the whites of this because we don't discriminate. And also everything is just gonna taste so delicious. Okay, I'm almost done with that, but I'm gonna put the cauliflower in because I'm hearing the sizzling and it reminded me that I forgot to do that. So we're gonna put the cauliflower crumbles in. If for some reason you can't find these guys and you have a food processor, oh my gosh, hi, I can't talk today. If you have a food processor, you can buzz the cauliflower in that a couple of times and it'll get this riced look, texture, look. Okay, so we put this in. Now what we're gonna do is put a little bit of soy sauce. I'm probably only using, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon because a little goes a long way. There's a lot of salt in this. If you have the low sodium, that works really great too. So our heat is on low, and what I'm doing is just combining everything together now. So we have our cauliflower. Oh, it looks like Cooper's coming to see what's up. Hey, Cooper. We have our cauliflower, we have our egg, we have our onion that we cooked first, we have our peas, we have our edamame, we have our garlic, and it's now smelling like a legit fried rice, which is, of course, what we want. I'm making sure my flame is on. Okay, so that's gonna cook a couple more minutes. You don't want to overcook your cauliflower because it gets mushy, and also it'll start giving out water if you cook it too long. So if anyone's had that problem, cook it less. It gets a little more of a bite too. I kind of like them, I don't want to say undercooked, but more on the rawer side for this dish. We're gonna finish cooking these little, cutting up these little green onions. Oh my gosh, I stayed up too late watching crime shows. Sorry. Okay, we're almost done here. Okay, so we have just put our, almost all of our little green, I like leaving the tie on it while I'm cutting it. These are already washed, by the way. I like leaving the tie in because it holds them together. One less thing I have to worry about. Hey, Cooper. Just combining everything now. I put the green onions in. Is everybody following along? Any questions, let me know and I'll be sure to check back and reply to your comments. This is such a straightforward, easy dish. Once this gets almost cooked, I'm gonna taste it just for seasoning to see if it needs more of this. Next thing we're going to do, I'm gonna switch burners. All right. We're gonna throw our little shrimps in that have been sitting in their marinade bath. This is garlic hoisin. This is this amazing chili garlic sauce. Chunky garlic, too, because I'm lazy. And soy sauce. And a little bit of pepper. And that's it. So easy. And I'm listening to my cauliflower, which is cooking on low, for a little longer. All right, what am I doing? Here we go. These guys, we're gonna use a little bit of olive oil. If you wanna stick with the butter theme, go for it. I'm just gonna use olive oil for these. And we're just putting, boop, there. You can see everything. Look at that. Cauliflower. We're gonna do our shrimp. A little bit of oil to cut the pan. Maybe less than I put in. Got excited. And these shrimp are raw and they are deveined, which means they took out the little poop chute that they have, but I did have to peel them off, so I had to take off their little shells and their leggies. But I would not, why did I just put egg into that pan? I would not recommend doing the pre-cooked shrimp for this dish because they're just gonna end up like a shoe, like a sole of a shoe. So these are gonna be really quick. I'm just gonna dump them in. This is a little less than a pound of raw, peeled and deveined shrimp. And we're just gonna give them a little bit of their own personal space and kind of forget about them for a moment. And then we're gonna flip them over. The way you know that shrimp is done is that it went from that gray translucent color to a pink, more opaque color. Let's stir this, see how we're doing here. All right, oh my gosh, yummy. Okay, so cauliflower is done. This is what it looks like. Delicious. I'll put you to the side. And as promised, I'm gonna taste it to make sure I put enough soy sauce in it. Okay, we're tasting. It's perfect. There's so many different textures from the edamame. You compare it. It has freshness from the green onion. It's super good. And that cooked onion gives it a really nice, savory, so satisfying for cauliflower. I'm so glad that we're just kind of messing around one day and I was like, this is actually really good. So I'm glad that I'm able to share it with you. My shrimp are needing a flippin'. So this is what they look like when they're done. So I just checked one. Nice. Ooh, it's steamy. That's not even like a special effect. That's like legit real steam, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just flipping them once. And once I am done flipping all of these, which takes a long time apparently, I'm gonna turn the pan off because they cook in no time. And I don't want them to burn or get overcooked because then they get rubbery. If you suffer from rubbery shrimp, it's because you have overcooked them. If you want to finish these off with some lemon, go for it. They look so good. Oh, look at that. Smoke and steam. Okay, so they're finishing cooking. And that is it. We're done. We're just going to plate up and I'm going to taste everything as soon as those are going. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm really happy to share this with you. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment and I'll be happy to respond right away. This is Quarantine Cooking and I'm so happy that you all came today. We're going to plate up. Oh, another little thing that I do, which I did with my cauliflower couscous, my cashew cauliflower couscous, is I like to put them in a little, this is a measuring cup, but we use it as like to shape your rice. So then when you put it on the plate, it looks really nice and pretty. Even when I'm eating alone, I still like to make it look nice because you eat with your eyes first. I feel like if it looks pretty, it always tastes good. Maybe not always, but so what I've just done, now that I didn't do it on camera, is I scooped my cauli rice here. I'm gonna flatten it down into this measuring thing. The tighter this is, the nicer your shape will be when you turn it upside down. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it does. So what we're gonna do is take your plate, put it here, wherever you want it to sit, and then we're gonna flip it. Boop. You guys ready? So I use this as a little mold, and we're carefully lifting it up. So pretty. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so fancy. Garnish. I think I'm gonna put the garnish on the shrimp because this is nice and bright already as it is. We're gonna put some shrimp on. What was I eating? Oh, I guess it was edamame. I was like, what's in my mouth? Oh, I tasted, I tasted the shrimp. I mean the rice. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely taking a nap after this. What is wrong with me? Too many crime shows. I stay up late at night. Also Jeopardy, I'm telling you, like Jeopardy is my favorite show. Not ashamed to admit it. Alex Trebek is a genius and he's so funny. And he's gotten really sassy too over the years. So this is finished product with our garnish. And look at that steam. It smells so good in here. This shrimp, it smells, you kind of smell the heat. It smells just really sweet and rich. But this, I mean, super healthy, very low carb, can be gluten-free if you swap out the soy, can be vegetarian if you don't put the actual butter or obviously the shrimp, and you can always not do the egg as well. If you have any different variations that you're thinking that could make this different or better, message me. I'd love to hear about it. And if you make this, send me pictures, give me feedback. I want to know how I'm doing. And I also love to hear when people are getting excited to cook, because that's what I'm here for. We're gonna eat the shrimp. I'm just gonna use my fingers because that's what I would do if I was home and I'm here with my friends, all of you. It's so good. It's salty, savory. The shrimp is like perfectly tender and cooked. I don't know if you know this trick, but if you squeeze right by the tail, that extra little chunk of meat comes out. Because I don't want to waste it. I mean, it gave its life for me. I don't want to waste its delicious meat. It's so good. This is so, just tastes legit. Like you got it from your favorite Chinese food restaurant. Different variations. If you want to make this spicier, go for it. If you want to finish it with lemon, I didn't need to, I don't think. And this cauli rice is so good. I don't want to mess this up, so I'm just gonna eat it out of here. Cauli-Fried Rice, ladies and gentlemen. It's still steamy. It's so good. Here it is. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll do something else next week. I haven't decided what. If you have any ideas or suggestions, something that you maybe love so much but you want to make a low carb version of it, I'm happy to make something up new. That would be fun too. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you have fun making this. Super healthy, but also, most importantly for me, it's super delicious and really satisfying. So, have fun cooking. Thanks for joining me on Quarantine Cookin'. Hey, what are you doing? You good boy.